Welcome to the Gospel Road. We're going to look at Ezekiel 17. It says, "The word of the Lord came to me, Son of man, set forth an allegory, and tell it to the Israelites as a parable. Say to them, this is what the sovereign Lord says. A great eagle with powerful wings, long feathers, and full plumage of varied colors came to Lebanon. Taking hold of the top of a cedar, he broke off the topmost shoot and carried it away to a land of merchants, where he planted it in a city of traders. He took one of the seedlings of the land and put it in fertile soil. He planted it like a willow by abundant water, and it sprouted and became a low spreading vine. Its branches turned towards him, but its roots remained under it. So it became a vine and produced branches and put out leafy boughs. But there was another great eagle with powerful wings and full plumage. The vine now set out its roots toward him from the plot where it was planted and stretched out its branches to him for water. It had been planted in good soil by abundant water so that it would produce branches, bear fruit, and become a splendid vine. Say to them, this is what the sovereign Lord says. Will it thrive? Will it not be uprooted and stripped of its fruit so that it withers, and its new growth will wither? It will not take a strong arm or many people to pull it up by the roots. It has been planted, but will it thrive? Will it not wither completely when the east wind strikes it? Wither away in the plot where it grew? Then the word of the Lord came to me. Say to this rebellious people, do you not know what these things mean? Say to them, the king of Babylon went to Jerusalem and carried off their king and her nobles, bringing them back with him to Babylon. Then he took a member of the royal family and made a treaty with him, putting him under oath. He also carried away the leading man of the land, so that the kingdom who would be brought low, unable to rise again, surviving only by keeping this treaty. But the king rebelled against him by sending his envoys to Egypt to get horses and a large army. Will he succeed? Will he who does such things escape? Will he break the treaty and yet escape? As surely as I live, declares the sovereign Lord, he shall die in Babylon, in the land of the king who put him on the throne, whose oath he despised and whose treaty he broke. Pharaoh, with his mighty army and great horde, will be of no help to him in war. When ramps are built and siege works erected to destroy men and lives, he despised the oath by breaking the covenant, because he had given his hand in pledge, and yet did all these things, he shall not escape. Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says. As surely as I live, I will repay him for despising my oath and breaking my covenant. I will spread my net for him, and he will be caught in my snare. I will bring him to Babylon and execute judgment on him there, because he was unfaithful to me, and his choice troops will fall by the sword, and the survivors will be scattered to the winds. Then you will know that I, the Lord, have spoken. This is what the sovereign Lord says. I myself will take a shoot from the very top of a cedar and plant it. I will break it off in a tender sprig from its topmost shoots and plant it on a high and lofty mountain. On the mountain heights of Israel I will plant it, and it will produce branches and bear fruit, and become a splendid cedar. Birds of every kind will nest in it. They will find shelter in the shade of its branches, and the trees of the forest will know that I, the Lord, bring down the tall tree and make the low tree grow tall. I dry up the green tree and make the dry tree flourish. I, the Lord, have spoken, and I will do it. Ezekiel 17. That's what we're looking at here. And the allegory, or what they're using as the example, it's two eagles and a vine. And there's a lot that you can use this for, to use it as an example, to apply it to your life, especially in business. When you are trying to grow and you're wanting to expand and you're wanting to move, it comes down to where you are placing your idea, where you are putting your expansion. So we're talking about the one eagle who took the top of the cedar and put it in fertile soil. With that fertile soil, it caused it to grow. Now, see, it's doing the research to know where the fertile soil is to plant that. So again, that's doing the research of your business when you're trying to find out when you're going to step out, when you're going to do something different, when you're wanting to set up a new location. Even on your initial location of making sure where it's going to be, you need to do the research. You need to understand what is happening around you. The same thing goes even when it comes to your spiritual life, and it's doing the research. It's asking the questions. It's understanding what it is that you need to do to move forward in your life, move forward with your journey. So if you put something in non-fertile soil, it's not going to grow. Just like if you don't do your plan, you don't figure out what's going on, you don't build a group around you, you don't build your workers, your employees, your disciples, we're going to call them, because you're wanting to build them up so you're able to use them and send them out so they're able to then be the manager of that location and really build it. It's just like when you're working with your kids, when you're working with your friends, and really lifting up one another and encouraging one another and helping them to understand what needs to be done to make sure they're becoming a better person. Making sure that they're being planted in that good soil by that abundant water so they're able to bear the fruit, they're able to grow. Because again, when you take someone with you and they elevate, you're going to elevate with them. So you both are moving up the vine. Yeah, we'll use that because that's what it's talking about here. So Ezekiel 17, it's taking this and deciding where it is that you can apply this. In fact, it was talking later with the king and making the agreements and breaking the agreements. We all know you have contracts, you break contracts, there's consequences to breaking that contract. And it even shows in here that there was a consequence to breaking the contract because he was going to fail due to doing that, for not following through with the agreement. So are you a person who follows through with an agreement? Are you a person who does not have good follow-through? These are things that you have to ask yourself. These are things that you need to ask those that are around you. These are the ones to find out if they are going to rebel against what you're trying to build, what you're trying to do together. Ezekiel 17. So read that and see what it is that it says to you. And this was the New International Version, which was the one that I did this time. I'm on the English Standard Version, but I didn't get it switched before I started reading that. But check it out and read it and see what it says to you and how it can build you and how it can lift you up to go to that next level. Thank you for listening to The Gospel Road. Have a great day. God bless.